Hey, what's up, guys? It's John from NERD, and today I wanted to start off by saying I'm sorry. My voice is a little raspy, and I also wanted to get a NASA video out that I've been working on. NASA has developed a new element, and the resources come from Earth, and the rumor is that the other half of the resources come from a downed UFO crash on the Mexican border about 22 years ago. Apparently, they just finally got their shit together and was able to reverse engineer it and make something that we could use out of it. Well, that video is coming soon, so just give me time to get it up. Now, on today's video, today I put together a mini clip, slideshow video, whatever you want to call it, about a Scottish man by the name of John MacDonald. Now, John MacDonald's a 65-year-old man who's driving through the back streets of rural Scotland around 11 p.m. on February 28th of this year. Now, the story goes that Mr. McDonald was driving home from a night out with friends, and that's pretty cool. I mean, 65 and he's still hanging out. Good for you, man. And he happened to notice at the corner of his eye that the sky was a little brighter in one spot than usual. Now, when you're a local and you live out in the sticks or a wooded area where there's not much pollution, much city life, you know them type of people, they love their environment, they love the animals, they love the trees, they love the ocean, the rocks, the swamps. They love everything about that life, because if you don't love that life, you wouldn't live there. Some people find it boring, but the people that actually live in them areas love it, and they would have it no other way. So with that being said, them type of people, if they see something out of ordinary that's not supposed to be there, they will investigate. That's just how they are, and I'm like that. I would stand by them because I'm one of them type of people that just love Earth, and I love everything about Earth. So with that being said, Mr. McDonald has noticed a brighter object in the corner of his eye in the sky a few miles away. So he's driving home, and he comes to a fork in the road, which he always comes to. Now, left would be obviously the way he would want to go home. Right is the wrong direction, and he didn't plan on going that way, but since the light is that direction, it's the way he headed. So driving down the windy, twisty back roads of Scotland, going towards the light, in his mind, he's thinking now, what happens if it's a car flipped over and that's someone's headlights shining up, or somebody broke down and they're hurt, or maybe even a fire. Who knows? When it's middle of the night, anything's possible. The last thing that he thought he would find is what we're going to talk about today. Mr. McDonald had a very cool encounter, and he was able to get his evidence on camera. Thank you, John McDonald, for getting it on camera. All the UFO community loves it when we get to find, not only have a good story, but we get to see some actual evidence with it. So thank you again for doing that. So he was traveling down the back roads of rural Scotland when he came to the fork. He went right to investigate the light. Now he's driving 20 minutes down. As he's going towards this light, he starts hearing a humming pitch sound. Now, it was nothing that was, oh wow, this is like, what is that? But as he approached the area of the light, he's getting to the end of, the end of the road here. I mean, the road bears left at the end over here, and then straight ahead is a little gully into a property line fence. So he gets to the end of the road, and this light is, bright, and it's just below the hill. He can't really see anything but the light. He does, though, hear very, very loud humming at this point. He described it as 1,000 hoovers. Now, me, being where I live and everything, I assumed the hoover was a vacuum, and I knew nothing else. And I was right. But I wanted to look it up anyways and make sure that there was no slang I was missing. I wasn't really too concerned about a modern slang. I mean, he's a 65-year-old man, so I highly doubt he's speaking teenager. But anything's possible. So I looked it up anyways, and sure enough, it meant vacuum. Now, I don't know if you have a vacuum like my vacuum is, but if you're vacuuming and somebody's talking to you in the next room, you can't hear them. So can you imagine 1,000 vacuums running at once? That's pretty loud. And Mr. McDonald went on to say, as he parked his car on the side and walked down to the gully and went to the fence line to see what this object was, he said the noise that was radiating from this light was so loud that he could not hear his parked running Jeep that was less than 10 feet behind him. Now that's pretty interesting because my guess is his Jeep had to have been built for durability, not for comfort. So whoever made this Jeep was making this thing to go through rough terrain, rocks, hills, maybe some water, and they were not really focusing on quietness and luxury. So that's pretty interesting that detail's there. That adds a little more truth in believing this. Now, being with the UFO community, you got to have some belief and faith anyways, because if you don't, then you're a skeptic and you probably just try to crash on everything. But with that being said, he said the next thing that happened was absolutely astonishing. The light became above the hill, and it was so bright that he had to put his hand in front of his face. Now, we're talking about, when someone shines a flashlight at you and you put your hand palm out towards them. So he's blocking his face. He takes a step back to grasp himself, and all of a sudden, the light calms down. He runs back to his Jeep, grabs his camera, and was able to get a few shots. Now, he's got some pretty good shots here, but I picked the one that I like the best. And you guys are more than welcome to go look it up and find your own shots and look up the own thing and just have your own opinion on it. That's great, but this is the video I'm putting together, so I just want to throw in the shots that I thought was the most interesting. Also, he said when he took off the shots, the humming slowed down and calmed down, and then he could see, after his eyes adjusted, that there was a base to this craft. This craft was not just lights anymore in mid-air. He could see that they were connected to something, and who knows what that could have been. But, alien technology, I don't know. I highly doubt that their crafts are made out of steel, but who knows what it was made out of. But the point is, they were connected to an object, and that's pretty cool because, orbs and objects with crafts and that you can see, especially round disc saucer shaped crafts, that's my favorite, and that's what I love to find out. So, after he took the photos and everything calmed down, he said the craft hovered for about 15 seconds and then took off, vanished out of thin air. Now, Mr. McDonald also went on to say that I always thought that there was something out there, but I have never seen anything until now. He added, there's no doubt in my mind I know what I saw. Now that's awesome. That is awesome to be a believer in things, but you never get to see things yourself, and then bang, you get to see it, and also you get to have, capture evidence of this thing. John also has a friend that was interviewed, and he is a local shepherd, and he said that there is things like that happening all the time out there. If you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. So he's saying them, that could mean the lights, maybe he's seen beings that was operating these things. Who knows, the interview didn't go any further than that. Well, that's pretty much, the story of John McDonald and his UFO encounter. I do want to add that this part of Scotland would have no reason to make up UFO stories to get tourists there for any kind of reason at all, because it's a very wealthy community and wealthy people go there. They go duck hunting and there's mansions, and it's just, they do not need the extra attention. Wealthy people go there, and then local people probably do not like tourists. They probably like to keep things original and old-fashioned. So with that being said, please just keep that in mind when you watch this story. I hope you liked the video. If you do, subscribe. If you don't, that's cool. I'm still going to post. Hopefully I can get some people that like what I'm doing. I'm new, and I'm influenced by the larger people in YouTube doing this. Good job to them too. If you have any advice, please leave it in the comments. If you want to subscribe, that's great too. If you have any footage of videos or audio or anything that you would like me to put up, you're more than welcome to send me them. I will take anything, even if it's posted up somewhere else. This is for the people, it's not for me. You will never see me, no matter how big I get, try to sell anything to anybody. If you guys love what you're doing and you love what I'm doing, just keep sending it in. Let's get this out there. Alright, everyone have a great, safe rest of the week. I'll see you tomorrow.